I like Jens. He's a nice guy.
Jens is an awesome guy. He does always seem quite chilled, but I think sometimes it may not show to people, but he does get very involved in the games, and maybe not so much here, but I know at DreamHack he was at times looking a little bit stressed, and quite understandably.
Yeah. So yeah, I could totally understand it, because it was kind of like months and months leading up to that, you know, like I don't think that he even necessarily all the time was like on his journey to BlizzCon. Like obviously he had it in the back of his mind and he was dreaming of it, but it's just like the community put a lot of pressure on it as well and made the story even bigger than it already was, you know. Because it also kind of felt like it didn't really matter how well Snute did at some of those tournaments. It was more about the WCS points that he was earning than the amazing players that he defeated. And of course there were plenty of threads where people did mention all the players that Snute defeated or Bunny, but in a weird way it was all about the WCS points. So I could totally understand that he was indeed a little stressed out at a certain point, because even when he didn't want to think like that it was all about BlizzCon, it was almost inevitable, I guess, to a certain point to just you know, live with the community and put all that pressure on your shoulders and feel like that.
Well, I think the thing is as well, when obviously BlizzCon is the highlight of the year on the StarCraft 2 calendar, and it is something that you're working towards, even when it becomes a possibility, and it's not a very likely, but it's a realistic chance, not sort of some of the foreign players who've been like, oh, well, if I win WCS and everyone else loses everything, then I can possibly go with a 1% chance or something. Snute had a realistic go, and no matter how much you try and put that in the back of your head and go, oh, it doesn't matter if I don't go, it's always going to be there, niggling at you, going, this is something you want, and any StarCraft Pro is going to want to go to BlizzCon, so it's a bit of a shame. But anyway, this game, of course, Bunny spawning in top left, Snute lower right. I can't remember if we actually said that, but in terms
I don't think we did. Yeah.
In terms of opening, CC first, coming down here from Bunny. Snute sees that. Snute's gone for actually quite an early gas off the back of that hatchery.
Yeah, he might. I'm curious to see if he would do the same thing again. I don't really think so. I like the style that he showed on Nimbus though, because he was able to get away with it. Like you said, Bunny was very passive with his Hellions. He didn't want to lose them. And it actually took a while before Bunny was aware of the fact that Snute went that double evolution chamber style. But it's something you can get away with on Nimbus, especially after you scout that your opponent is going, you know, Rex, command center. On a map like this, the Overlord already saw like, alright, this is a different ball game. Bunny is going to be able to be a lot more aggressive. And I guess Snute just kind of wants to have gas earlier on and can't really delay it as long as he did on Nimbus. And also this map is a lot smaller, so most of the time there are not too many small skirmishes like there is on Nimbus. On a certain point, they were fighting at like 3 locations at once. It was cool, and then upgrades of course are really important, because you can't really micro your units at all 3 locations, but if you just send them in and they have good upgrades, most of the time you'll be fine.
Well, I'm just keeping an eye out on what these two are doing in this game for the moment, and again, we've got very macro-orientated openers from both of these. The only real difference is, of course, that much earlier Zergling speed from Snute, but I don't think he's going to be able to achieve very much with it. He's going down quite a few Zerglings now, but if we look at the position from Bunny, he's actually doing a great little bit of SimCity at the moment. May even go for the complete wall off along this natural, which could very well be done in time if he does jump in with one more supply depot with the bunker as well.
This is really interesting. I mean, I don't think that Snute is just going to try to run 20 links up that ramp. What I think he's going to do is get some vision with his Overlord one way or the other and figure out, and he probably knows the timing so well, when Zerglings leave. Or maybe he will keep the Zerglings up the high ground over here and will just try to surround those Hellions immediately. Like, it would be almost foolish to just show them all at once. One of the depots is lowered. A couple of Zerglings can stream in, but not all of them. So I don't think he wants to review all of them just yet, because making 20 Zerglings is a huge investment. I feel that Bunny picked up on it.
Yeah, Bunny re-raised that wall off. He's got a couple of Hellions out. Snute didn't invest everything that he had, and on the one hand, that is obviously quite a low plus. May try and catch these Hellions, but should be able to get the... Can he get the surround? It'd be good if he is able to. Just misses them. These are being very oily here. Managing to just slip on through, but one will go down. A second one could very well end up falling here. Should get picked off.
Nice Zergling control there. Not sure if you really saw it, but he moved like this one Zergling that was very low on HP a little bit to the right, so it wouldn't die against that second Hellion shot. Kind of cute. Bunny's a little paranoid, so that is one thing that Snute is going for himself. Snute just made those 20 links, and he's obviously freaking the hell out of Bunny. Bunny's like, hey, why are you making so many links? That's not normal at all. But now Bunny saw it with his medevac. He's like, alright, I don't see any Banelings morphing, I don't see any roaches. I don't need that extra bunker, I don't need those Widow Mines, at least not now.
Can't really blame Bunny from being a little bit paranoid though, because his vision of the map is extremely limited. He flew that medevac out just to get a little peek, but in terms of
this is bad, by the way. There is no spore crawler yet, and there is no layer, so that means no overseers. First spore is going down now, but these widow mines are going to be extremely annoying. This is like Terran vs Protoss.
Nice control on the
I
drones
lose
there.
way more pros, Madals. I lose way more pros.
Second one may have more luck. Snute showing good control at the moment. Couple more there. Okay, 4 workers killed for those 2 mines. Of course, Snute is still up quite comfy at 53 drones for the moment. Does have those 2 spores coming in as well, so he can pick off those widow mines before they get another volley off, which is nice for him. Over on Bunny's side, he's just busy ramping up his production. He's going to get an Overlord for free, gets a couple more barracks in. Interestingly, getting a second Viking out. What are your thoughts to that, Rotterdam?
What I think is more interesting that he's getting tanks. So, like, I don't think that tanks are super common in this phase of the game. I don't think that he's particularly worried about something, so I don't think it's a defensive tank. Of course, there is this famous spot on the right side of Snoot's natural where tanks can siege up and be extremely annoying. Using the Vikings for high ground vision, or just pushing away overlords or whatever, you know, that's awesome there. And then your tanks can, of course, be in range of the mineral line. It seems like Snute is a little worried about that because he's already working on his own debris, and he's even spreading creep in that direction. So, even though I don't think that those 20 initial Zerglings really got done what Snute was hoping for, if he takes this out and if he can shut down the first push of Bunny, then he's definitely still in this one. Then I still believe.
Just checking round. This little move out, or Bunny's got a decent number of units here.
Oh my god. Snute is on 74 drones already. Like, it's crazy that his tech is so late, but his economy, at least right now, is fantastic. That is insane. 75 workers at the 10-minute mark, despite opening up with a relatively unorthodox build. It's pretty intense.
Bunny's moving across the map now. He's got a... Obviously, those 2 tanks there. He's got the high ground vision. He's going right where you predicted, Rotterdam. Coming over on that right-hand side of Snoot's natural. There is some creep spread here for Snute, and that's certainly going to be helpful. Obviously, getting that creep spread.
He needs units, though, man.
Yeah, he does
really
need stuff.
needs units. I don't think that's enough. It's oh my god, it's 28 hours play against 60. That's pretty terrible right now for Snute. He doesn't have bailing speed yet. He doesn't have Aspire. Like, if Bunny is able to pick up on the fact that Snute is very weak right now, he can pretty much straight up win the game. But it's easy for us because we have all the information, we have all the numbers. If you're Bunny, then of course you want to be methodical about this as always, but he is going to do quite a bit of damage regardless because he just has a huge window of opportunity over here.
He's also got the tanks in such a dominating position there. With the high ground vision, for Snute to actually get it somewhere where he can pick up those tanks is going to be very, very challenging for him. Those tanks picking away nicely. Snute is going to try and move into this. He's able to wrap around both the tanks with the speedlings. Trying to move forward with the banelings. Off of creep though, Bunny's moved his army, getting some good splits. There's no Zergling speed. He's able to pick them all off. And with reinforcements coming through now, Bunny is in an amazing spot. 74 army supply to 20, Rotterdam.
Bunny is such a good Terran. If you don't have bailing speed, then there is just no way that your bailings will ever connect with his marines. It's a little unfortunate for Jens, but I'm afraid that this one is it. Bunny is going to win his first of best of 3 in your tournament. The Foreign Hope, 2-0 over his teammate Snute. Just excellent control there in small moments. You know, if there are 2-3 bailings connecting with marines, and of course it's very easy to say that slow bailings should never connect with those marines, but you know, mistakes happen, and it's a tense situation, so a single misclick. But throughout the entire series, and even yesterday as well, Bunny showed us that he's really good in focus firing bailings. It's almost like watching Tasia.
He just splits so fantastically well, but that's great news for Bunny. Of course, now he is up on the scoreboard in terms of getting a win there. That puts him level with Bly and Nurchio overall. Actually puts him exactly level with Bly, who's played 2 games as well. So that is it for the first game of the evening.